Every sunrise paints a new story on the waves. Some see the ocean as endless, others see it as opportunity. But for one fisherman named Ravi, it was both his greatest struggle and his greatest teacher. Ravi lived in a small coastal village where every man knew the rhythm of the tides better than the clock. His boat wasn't fancy, his nets were worn, but his heart was full of hope. Every morning before dawn, he'd whisper a prayer. "Let today bring something good," and push his little boat into the open sea. For years, the ocean had given him enough to eat, enough to smile, enough to dream. But one year, everything changed. The fish stopped coming. Day after day, Ravi returned with empty nets and tired eyes. The sea that once blessed him now mocked him with silence. His neighbors started whispering, "Maybe he's cursed. Maybe it's time he gives up." But Ravi didn't listen. He believed that faith and effort always return, even if delayed. So he kept going out, alone, each morning, each evening, chasing hope across endless water. Weeks passed. His savings vanished. His hands were blistered. His boat needed repair. His family needed food. One night, as rain tapped on his window, his wife held his hand and said softly, "Ravi, maybe it's time to rest. Maybe we can find another way." He looked out at the sea, dark, endless and cruel, and whispered, "The ocean hasn't defeated me yet." That night, while everyone slept, Ravi sat on the beach alone, watching lightning cut through the clouds, and made a promise to himself. "Tomorrow, I will go further than ever before." Before dawn, he loaded his nets, checked the winds, and sailed farther than any fisherman in his village had dared to do. Hours passed. The sun burned above. The waves grew taller. His body ached. He cast his nets once, twice, 10 times. Nothing. The sea was calm, but empty. He sighed, looked at the horizon, and thought, maybe they were right. Maybe it's time. But just as he turned his boat to head back, a glimmer caught his eye. A shimmer beneath the water, like a whisper of gold. Ravi leaned over the boat, heart pounding. The shimmer grew, rippling closer. He threw his net one last time. The rope tightened. Suddenly, the boat jerked. His hands burned as he pulled with all his strength. Minutes passed, waves splashing, wind howling. Then, with one last pull, the net surfaced, overflowing with silver fish, hundreds of them, glistening like jewels in the morning sun. Ravi fell to his knees, tears mixing with seawater. All he could whisper was, "Thank you for testing me." When Ravi returned to shore, the whole village gathered. Children ran along the sand, shouting, "Ravi's back! Look at his catch!" Old fishermen stared in disbelief. Even his wife, standing by the shore, covered her mouth in awe. He smiled at her and said, "I told you, the ocean never fails those who don't quit." That single morning changed everything. Not just his fortune, but his faith. In time, Ravi became known as the fisherman who never gave up. Young boys from the village would sit beside him at sunset asking, "Uncle, what's your secret?" He'd smile and point toward the horizon. The sea gives to those who respect her, and she tests those who deserve her treasures. Then he'd pause, gaze at the waves, and add, "Remember, the darkest storms come before the calmest mornings." Years later, even as his hair turned gray, Ravi still woke up before dawn. He no longer needed to fish. What he did, not for money, but for meaning. Because for him, the sea wasn't about catching fish. It was about catching courage. He'd say, "The ocean taught me patience. The wind taught me humility, and every failure taught me to begin again. The story of Ravi reminds us that life is like the ocean, beautiful, unpredictable, and deeper than we imagine. Some days you'll catch nothing. Some days you'll fight storms. But the only ones who reach the shore of success are the ones who never stop rowing. So when life feels heavy, when your net feels empty, remember Ravi and whisper to yourself, one more try. Because sometimes the biggest catch comes after your last ounce of hope. The seed never forgets those who keep faith, and destiny always finds those who never give up. Moral of the story? True strength isn't in never failing. It's in never stopping, no matter how many times you fall.